What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is day 9 of the 4th annual 10 Days of Pumpkin here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today comes from the Blue Point Brewing Company, and they are out of both PaTroll, New York, and Merrimack, New Hampshire, and this is their Mother Pumpkin Ale. So they are calling this one an ale that is brewed with pumpkin and spices. It comes in at 5.5% alcohol by volume, 25 IBUs, and at the time of review, I don't know exactly how old this can is, but it does have a best by date of January 12th of 2022, so we're about 3 months away from that date at the time of review. We should be fine. So yeah, full disclosure, I've had this one before. I've had this one just once before, I believe, and it was back in like 2015, 16-ish, and I thought it was pretty solid for what it is. Again, it's just a pumpkin ale with pumpkin spices and real pumpkin, and it says on the back here, pumpkin spices, one bad mother. I believe the pumpkin spices in this one, I can't remember if I saw it on their website or if it was on Tap, but I believe they said they use cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice, so no clove in this one. But maybe they changed that. Who knows? It says it does contain wheat. Anyway, let's get it into the Sam Adams Perfect Pint class, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. This is a bigger brewery that gets better distribution than most of the beers I review. So hopefully other people have had this one before. Like I said, I have. It's been a while since I've had it, but yeah. Anyway, probably gonna pour it all in, honestly. The perfect pour going on here with the Sam Adams glass. Let's do it. Let's do it. Anyway, yeah, that looks like a pumpkin ale. I say that in pretty much every pumpkin review because most of them have looked like pumpkin ales. It has this deep burnt orange, like kind of copper color, a lot of carbonation from the etching in the bottom of this perfect pint glass from Sam Adams. Has about a finger of this. This is more of like a light tan, creamy looking head. But yeah, that looks like a great pumpkin ale, honestly. Like I can't, it's funny because in this glass, like it changes. It's more like a deep, darker, like orange, almost into that copper color up here. And then down here, it's like a lighter orange. Looks real nice though. Anyway, that's good nose. Yeah, it's a, after reviewing pumpkin beers for like 9 straight days, a lot of them start to, like, the smell becomes so familiar with that pumpkin spice. See, again, I'm a mess right now after 9 days of drinking pumpkin beers. But yeah, that pumpkin spice, just, you get it, whether it's cinnamon that hits you first, or the nutmeg, or the ginger, the allspice, or the clove, or whatever's in it. Very similar, very similar. So to me, I don't know if I'm becoming a bit more sensitive to ginger in beers, but like I get a big blast of ginger. It's happened in a couple other beers this year that in the 10 days of pumpkin, and it's happening again. Ginger, nutmeg, a little bit of that allspice, cinnamon doesn't seem to be as prominent. The base is giving you that sweet malt character. This is more like a caramel and a toffee and less of that like brown sugar kind of confectionery sweetness. Is kind of just a regular malt base. I'm not getting graham cracker. I'm not getting like a huge, I would say more like a slightly like, I'd say it's like a slightly darker type of bread. Maybe like a dark wheat bread or something. But yeah, listen, it smells good. It smells like a well-made, well-integrated pumpkin ale. Nothing more, nothing less. So let's get into the taste. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, it's solid. It's like so many of these. It's so solid. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good, well-made pumpkin beer. Like, not much more I can say about it. It's a review, so I'll break it down, but like, that's my general first reaction. It's a well-made, solid pumpkin beer. So first off, right at the front of the palate, I'm hit with malt sweetness. Like I said, more of like a caramel toffee, darker bread type of sensation. And then instead of the spices hitting me right in the middle of the palate like so many of these pumpkin beers do, I get it like after that malt sweetness. And after it, it's ginger. There's more cinnamon in the taste to me. Like, so it's ginger, cinnamon, allspice. It's more of that like spicy, like real spicy component, like the cinnamon and like an allspice and like that sharpness of a ginger. The nutmeg gets kind of lost for me a little bit. That carries on through the palate. So it's like a nice balancing act between that sweeter malt base and the spices. And then it finishes with a semi to almost full-on dry finish. There's no bitterness in this one really at all. But even though it doesn't have a lot of bitterness, it doesn't have a huge sweetness too. So this is not a cloying like sweet pumpkin beer. It doesn't have a lot of sweetness, but it also doesn't have a lot of bitterness. It's very well balanced, but I don't think it steps it doesn't step over the line for either the malt or the spices. Yeah, super easy drinking. Like I could, if I was just sitting down and drinking this, I could probably like crush a can of this in like 10 minutes because the spices aren't too in your face. They don't punch you in the face with, too much spice character. It's not too sweet. Like I said, I use the word balance a lot, and what I mean by that is like there's not too much of anything. Like everything intertwines. It's, dare I say, cohesive. It's one of those pumpkin beers that are just, it's well made, it's solid, it's enjoyable, it's a crushable pumpkin beer. But to me, like the flavors aren't wowing me or blowing me away, but what's here is pretty good. So I can't really say much more about it, honestly, at this point. 5.5% drinks fine. So Mother Pumpkin Ale from Blue Point, 3.75 out of 5. Not much more I can say about it. It's a well put together pumpkin ale that isn't too flavorful. It's not also too light. It's not too dollar bland. Has a pretty good balance. I enjoy it. It's just one of those things where there's not a whole lot going on. I think ginger leading the way. I like ginger, but definitely more ginger forward, kind of like that Ithaca Country Pumpkin, where I don't think with ginger being this prominent for me personally that I could give it over a 3.75. If you love ginger, I feel like you'd love this beer. But again, maybe I'm more sensitive to ginger at this point because that's like the third beer. This is the third beer I've gotten like a prominent ginger note, so it could be just on me. So yeah, Blue Point Mother Pumpkin Ale. All day long, I would give this 3.75. Price and availability, wherever you see Blue Point, if you see their, their toasted lager or anything else from them, you should see this one. And price point, I think it's like $9.99 a six pack. So this is one of the better values of the beers I've drank this year, along with the Brooklyn and the UFO. I think I like this more than both of those beers, and the price point is very similar. So I would get this over those, but that's just personal preference. So again, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. 5.5%. It drinks like a lower ABV pumpkin ale. So yeah, again, this is one of those pumpkin ales where it's just like, yeah, no, that's what it is. It's solid, nothing more, nothing less. And there's nothing wrong with beers like this in the style. Like you need those lower, cheaper beers that are still well made to be out there because not everyone wants to spend $3 or $4 on a 16-ounce can of a pumpkin ale. They just don't. I don't unless it's amazing. So this is like one of those pumpkin ales from a bigger brewery that is still well done, and you're not going to break the bank to try it out. And I highly recommend this beer to anybody who's never had it before that enjoy like the pumpkin beers that are readily available. That's the best way I can explain it. So like I said, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Tomorrow is Halloween. It's day 10. It's the final day of the 10 Days of Pumpkin. We're doing the Fear from Flying Dog, and I'm super pumped up about that one. Kind of a bucket list kind of pumpkin ale, but yeah, we're closing it out with a bang, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Till the next one. Cheers.